So hello everyone, my name is Queen El Paulinho. So our topic for today's video is all about taxation under the Americans and taxation during the Commonwealth period. But before we proceed to our topic, let's discuss what is tax or taxation. So taxation is the practice of collecting taxes or money from citizens based on their earnings and properties. The money raised from taxation supports the government and public services, meaning kung walang taxations, there will be no public libraries, parks, schools, and so on. At sa mga napapansin nyo, yung mga kalsada na halos sira na ay napapagawa o napapaayos ulit dahil ito sa taxation. Yung revenues o yung pera na galing sa tax, yun yung ginagamit to pay for our teachers, doctors, police, soldiers, and other government officials and personnel, as well as building like hospitals, schools, roads, and other infrastructures like what I've said earlier. So now let's proceed about the taxations under the Americans. The Americans who acquired the Philippines aim to make the economy self-sufficient, an economy that is independent or able to function without the help or support from other countries. In order for them to do that, they run the government with the smallest possible sum of revenue and create surplus in the budget. From 1898 to 1903, the Americans followed the Spanish system. Sinunod nila yung sistema ng Spaniards pero modified lang nila. Nagkaroon ng few changes kasi naging masyadong mataas or overwhelming yung pag-tax ng Spaniards to Filipinos before. Kaya kapag sinasabing during the Spanish period, isa sa mga mabigat na pasanin or heavily burden ay ang mga poor farmers dulot ng taxation systems. While yung mga mayayaman naman ay were being less burdened by it. Kaya rin nila modified, it's because taxation systems that are once introduced by the Spaniards were outdated na and regressive. So during the American period, the military government suspended the contracts for the sale of opium. What is opium? Opium is a kind of drug. It is used as a narcotic and sa medicine naman, ito ay ginagamit siya as a painkiller. Next is lottery. It is a form of gambling, and the third one is the main coinage of money. Later on, the urbana or yung tinatawag na annual rental value of an urban real estate ay napalitan siya at tinawag na land tax. Land tax is a payable annually by virtue of ownership of land. Nung naging land tax na siya, ay pinapataw na siya both sa rural and the urban real estate. Ang Americans ang nag-introduce ng taxes regarding sa land and agriculture pero nahirapan silang gawin yon dahil ang problema ng land tax ay ang land titling in the rural areas was very disorderly. Masyado siyang magulo kaya nahirapan silang sukatin yung mga lupa sa mga rural areas kasi nagkaroon din ng resistance yung mga tao sa Americans before. Tax evasion was prevalent among the elites. So sa panahon ng mga Amerikano, naganap ang tax evasion kung saan ini-evade ang mga mayayaman yung taxes nila. Tinatakasan nila yung mga taxes na dapat nilang binabayaran. Ano nga ba ang tax evasion? Tax evasion is an illegal activity wherein yung isang tao o yung taxpayer avoids paying his or her taxes, and evasion of taxes are generally subject to criminal charges and substantial penalties. In short, pwede kang makulong if you intentionally avoid paying your taxes. The Internal Revenue Law of 1904 was passed as a reaction to the problems of collecting land tax, and it prescribed 10 major sources of revenue.
Number 1. License taxes on firms dealing in alcoholic beverages and tobacco. Number 2. Excise taxes on alcoholic beverages and tobacco products. Number 3. Taxes on banks and bankers. Number 4. Document stamp taxes. Number 5. The cedula. Number 6. Taxes on insurance and insurance companies. Number 7. Taxes on forest products. Number 8. Mining concessions. Number 9. Taxes on business and manufacturing. And number 10. Occupational licenses.
Ang Americans din ang nag-introduce sa atin ng iba pang taxes tulad ng excise taxes. Isa ito sa napapaloob sa 10 major sources of revenue. Excise taxes are required on specific goods and services like alcohol, tobacco, and cigarettes. Sa madaling salita, ay pinapatol siya sa certain goods and services that are considered harmful.
Napapaloob din sa 10 major sources of revenue ang document stamp taxes and sedula. Ang document stamp taxes is an excise taxes na pinipataw sa documents and loan agreements or papers evidence in the transfer or sale of an obligation, rights, and property. While ang sedula naman or community tax certificate is an document issued by the Philippine government to individuals and corporations upon payment of community tax. Ginagamit din siya when we are conducting transactions in various agency and offices in the government.
Yung mga taxes sa Internal Revenue Law of 1904 is wala sa taxation system ng Spaniards noon. Ito yung minodify ng mga Americans sa system ng Spaniards, which is for them improvement yun. Kasi di ba nga gusto nila maging independent yung fund ng government natin through taxes. So now let's talk about taxation during the Commonwealth period. But before that, let's define what is Commonwealth is. Did you know that Commonwealth is an independent or democratic country? It is also a traditional English term for a political community found in common good. Upon the entry of the Commonwealth area or the Commonwealth period, the taxation in the Philippines became more firm and just moreover other forms of taxes were increased, like the income tax rates, surtax rates on the net incomes, and other corporation taxes. The government also removed the system on sedula taxes. On 1939, ang Government Commonwealth ay gumawa ng National Internal Revenue Code at ito ang mga sumusunod na major changes sa bagong tax system.
Number 1. The normal tax of 3% and the surtax on income was replaced by a single tax, a progressive rate. Number 2. Personal exemptions were reduced. Number 3. Corporation income tax was slightly increased by introducing taxes on inherited estates of gifts donated in the name of dead person. Number 4. The cumulative sales tax was replaced by a single turnover tax of 10% luxuries. Number 5. Taxes on liquors, cigarettes, forestry products, and mining were increased. And number 6. Dividends or dividends were made taxable.
Still cause some sectors to become unfair on the share of the tax burden. So in short, hindi nito pinadali ang buhay ng mga tao, rather mas binigyan nito ng opportunity ang iba to take advantage lang sa mga lower class, as they manage to maneuver the situation for their benefits. Nung lumala na yung war, ay mas naging mahirap na yung collection ng taxes o yung pagbibigay ng mga tao ng pera sa government. So, ang extra income na lang ng gobyerno ay nanggagaling na lamang sa mga benta ng national sweepstakes at government bonds. Yung pag-spend ng Japanese military ay mas lumaki, therefore, they issued military notes para makover nila yung naging nagasto nila sa gyera. Tax system that introduced by the Americans remained unfair. So, nagsusuffer pa rin yung mga taong nasa lower class dahil sa taxes na binabayaran nila sa gobyerno. Ngunit yung mga taong nasa upper class naman ay nakikita nila ito as opportunity to make themselves more richer. During the World War II, the Japanese administration continued this taxation system with the exemption of the Japanese armed forces. So, during those times in the foreign trade, and the source of incoming law before is nawala. So, ang naging source of income na lang nila is yung amusements, business licenses, professions, and manufactures.